Minimalism means bringing things into your life intentionally. And with this intentionality, I actually found myself owning and wanting less stuff as a consequence. Nowadays, it's kind of like a big deal and rare that I will go out and buy something. And when I do, it's kind of like this special thing since it's so rare. And I make sure that I buy the right thing, the thing that will last me for years and even decades to come, and just a thing that is bought responsibly and wisely. The more time passes and passed, the more I realized how little we actually need, or I need, and how little I need not only to function in a day-to-day life, but how little I need to be happy. With the simplicity that comes with minimalism, I found myself finding joy and happiness in really simple and little things. Well, not in things, but in simple, maybe moments, you could say. I used to unintentionally put a lot of value into things. I mean, I never was the type of person who would shop as a relief of stress or sadness or anger, and I was never the type of person that shopped that much, but still I realized that I put a lot of attachment onto things. I remember in the early years of university, I got myself a waitressing job just to have something to do to earn a little extra money, and I was earning more than I've ever earned before. It was a lot for me at the time, and I remember I was paid cash at the restaurant and I could physically see the amount of money I was accumulating, and I remember I saw the money piling up and thinking, wow, I'm so flush now. And I remember thinking to myself, I worked so hard, I need to reward myself. And my thoughts of rewarding myself was to buy new things. I remember I just started dating Johannes back then, and I remember thinking, well, I'm such an adult now, I live by myself, I'm dating seriously, I'm earning money, and that I wanted to treat myself because that's what I saw other adults doing. It was kind of like a rite of passage to adulthood. I was mimicking what I saw other adults doing, what I thought you were supposed to do as an adult, to earn money and to then spend that on things that you want to indulge yourself in, and then just to repeat the cycle. I attached my hard work and my value and my worth in society onto buying those things. If I was buying nice things, then that meant I was doing well. It's not something that I realized back then, but it's definitely something I realize now that I have kind of taken a step back and seeing things in a retrospective way. I definitely realize that I put a lot of value into things. My mindset has also kind of shifted. Before, I used to always see what I didn't have and what I lacked, but now I see all the abundance that I have and all the possibilities and opportunities that are within the things that I have, which is interesting because now I feel like I own so little compared to back then, but I feel so much more abundance than back then. And I feel like it's because of this mindset and other things that minimalism has taught me that I haven't shopped for clothes for over a year now, something that I'm really proud to say. And I'm happy that I've come so far to be able to not shop, and not because I'm restricting myself, but because I don't want to, or I don't feel like I need to. With all the intentionality that I was bringing into my life, I also started to educate myself on where do my things that I even buy or bring into my life, where do they come from and where do they go after I'm done using them? And I realized how big of an ecological benefit there actually is to minimalism, and it's just another motivation and another why of why I'm actually pursuing minimalism. I also 100% believe in that having less stuff, you have less problems. You have more time for yourself, for the hobbies that you like to pursue. More stuff for me means more issues. With a bigger house, you have more corners to clean. With a garden, you need more time and tools to tend to that garden. With a car, you need money to maintain the car. With more clothes, you need more storage. With more things, you need more rooms and more organization. And with more stuff, you need a bigger home. And with a bigger home, you need more stuff. And it's just an endless cycle of stuff and problems, and not only things that occupy your physical space, but it also occupies your mental space. I don't think it's something that is very conscious, but I do think that mentally, every little thing that you have occupies a tiny space in your head. You have to remember that you have that when you think of it, that you actually know where to get it. And with minimalism, not only is my physical space freed, but my mental space is also freed. It feels so much lighter. It feels like a burden has been lifted off. And I think when you're in the midst of consumerism, of buying things and enjoying that, you don't realize that it's a burden. I would have never thought that it is a burden, but I think it's when you step away from it and when you kind of realize what you've been in, that's when you realize how much of a burden that was to your mind and your mental space. It's crazy. I feel like with minimalism, it has changed me so much, but in a mental way that's really hard to describe. I feel like with less stuff, my mind is clearer and I notice the little things. Before, it always felt like I was trying to get from A to B and I was rushing to get there, but now I feel like I notice the small stuff. Now this sounds really silly and really corny, but things like the sunshine and the bees on the flowers, and it's really weird, and it sounds weird saying this, but it's the only way I know how to describe how I am now, or I feel now, versus how I was and feel back then. I feel like I've put value into different things in life than before, and before it felt kind of like a chase, and now it feels like I've stopped and I'm resting. I don't know, it's hard to put into words. Of course, there's also the financial benefit to minimalism. I mean, it's pretty obvious. When you buy less, you save more money, and don't forget that money equals time in a sense. You trade in your time for money. You go to work, you trade in your time, and then with that money you kind of trade it back into time. So for example, we buy clothes to save us the time of making our own clothes. We buy a car to get us faster from A to B, and with having more money we can retire earlier and we can invest our time differently with having more money. Maybe you can work only part-time and dedicate more of your time to other passions. Generally, I feel like minimalism has sensitized me much more to all the persuasion that is surrounded in trying to get you to buy stuff. Whenever I'm seeing an ad or I'm on social media, I can much faster realize, okay, wait a minute, I want this because this ad or this person is trying to persuade me that I need this, but in my core I know that I don't need or want this. And I found myself not wanting or needing something, but then going on social media and being there for a while, seeing other people talk about things, and then feeling like, hey, I need this now. They told me that I need this, so I need this. And in a sense, the problem was created by the ad, and it wasn't a problem that I saw myself. I mean, something basic that happened the other day was I didn't feel self-conscious about my skin, but once I went onto social media and saw this product for skin congestion or whatever it was, I suddenly felt like I have that problem and now I need that. So in a sense, the problem was created. It wasn't something that I initially had. And it's really scary, but it's also really cool that I can now see and know that, okay, this is not my truth, this is something that has been told to me. Now, I'm not immune to ads or people or pictures trying to persuade me that I need something. I definitely do have moments of weakness where I impulse buy something, or where I buy something because I think I need it, but actually I don't need this. But the thing is that the frequency of these happenings have become much less, and I was able to catch myself beforehand so many more times than I have bought something. So in general, minimalism is a wonderful thing. I have gotten so many positive things from it. But my minimalism journey, I feel like, is interesting because I didn't go into minimalism with feeling like there's this burden I need to release and I need to purge myself of all this consumerism. I went into it more of curiosity and why not? This is not going to hurt anyone or anything. And it's only now that I'm in it that I see all the benefits. It's definitely not something where you declutter and then like this you're a minimalist. It's more of a process and you learn things along the way. I feel like minimalism nowadays is often reduced to decluttering, and it's so much more than that. Often I think decluttering is used as an excuse to upgrade your things, but it's so much more a mindset. I'd love to hear whether you're interested in minimalism or you are already on the journey of pursuing less. I'd love to hear your story and your benefits. Leave a comment down below. I'll come and say hi. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.